Hello, everyone. Welcome to What You Need to Know. It is Wednesday, and the gang is all here. We are all together now. Myra J has returned. Welcome back.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello, everyone. Hello.
You
You
little
look lovely
travel.
and sun-kissed.
You really do.
I am. I am. Me and the sun. We got a thing going on now.
Okay, okay. And Stephen Hill, you are back in the sun again,
I am.
back in sun again.
My happy
In
place.
yes, your happy place, for real though. So both of you, thank you so much for joining us today. It is Wednesday, as I said, so we're getting over the hump here for a shortened week. A lot of us had the Monday holiday off, but back yesterday with J. Anthony Brown, and I'm glad that you guys are back with us today. I want to talk about some topical things in the news, and first of all, Stephen Hill, you got a big election going on in your town coming up, the mayoral election. And this is the
Yes.
first in-person debate is tonight. Do you have any interest? Are you going to figure out a way to get WANBC and see this, or
No.
ABC, WABC
No, it's
and
too many
see it?
people. It's just like the Democratic primary for the president. I'm waiting for the herd to thin. Like I'm not invested at this point. The herd's got to
They
thin
have,
first.
yeah, it's
Like
a whole
that's a
debate.
That's a debate. That's like they should have the debate in Barclays, like in the seats. There's just that many people.
They say that the debate will air tonight from 7 to 9 p.m. And I have a listing of 8 Democrats who have qualified for the debate and plan on attending. Eric Adams, Sean Donovan, Catherine Garcia, Raymond McGuire, Diane Morales, Scott Stringer, Maya Wally, and the ever-present math nerd, Andrew Yang. Although Andrew Yang was thought to be an early favorite, he has really plummeted in the numbers, and 2 women of color are at the top, if not near the top. And that would be Catherine Garcia, I believe it is, or is it Diane Morales? And Maya Wiley, who many of us know is as a pundit on MSNBC for a while.
We cannot leave out calling out. We cannot leave out calling out Anthony Sliwa, who was head of the Guardian Angels back in the day. You noticed him? Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, no, you were right there. Go ahead.
No, just from the Red Beret, the people who were the citizens who took the streets in the mid '80s to take care of the streets. You know, there were some challenges around that eventually, but older and wiser. Let's see what happens.
Sliwa is a Republican, 67 years old now, and is a Republican. And so one of my favorite candidates is Paperboy Love Prince. The politician and artist Paperboy Love Prince poses and is a former congressional candidate and rapper, a non-binary rapper. Hello, today's lingo. Wants to give New Yorkers $2,000 a month in universal basic income. Proposes 3.5-day work weeks and health care for all, and seeks to eradicate homelessness and wants to turn the New York Police Department into a love team.
Oh, that's very lovely.
Which one is he?
Where do I see him? I want to say he's the one in the top right inside. I think that's paper. No. It's the one in the left corner. I'm sorry, the left-hand bottom corner.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Yellow.
He looks like a love book. What was it? Love Book Prince? What is it called?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Paperboy Love Prince.
Paperboy Love Prince. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
He ran for Congress last year, but lost in the primary to Nydia Velasquez. Or Nydia. So we'll see. But I just liked his name, and I like what he said. I mean, who doesn't want to propose $2,000 a month and 3.5-day work weeks and all of that. So I'm kind of digging that. But as I said, the women of color are coming up in this, and so Stephen Hill, do you have a horse in the race?
I'm a big fan of Ray McGuire. Ray McGuire has built business been great at Citicorp and really a tireless advocate for arts in New York City. and I truly believe cares about New Yorkers. He's the one I know the most, and I also like him. But if I dug in, which I will when it gets down to about 5 candidates, I'll know more. But right now, go Ray.
He's a former investment banker, and Citigroup Executives campaign centers on fueling an economic rebound, and his platform includes a job accelerator to bring back 50,000 jobs lost in New York City. Wow. His living experience qualifies him to enact renewed public safety and justice policy in the city, and raised by a single mom in Dayton, Ohio. Gotta love that. Gotta love that.
And probably the second richest mayor to come in there after Bloomberg. Homie got money.
Right. Yeah. You got to figure that.
Well deserved, well earned.
Well, y'all buried the lead on that one. You got money. We should have started there.
Did somebody say?
Not the dating
money?
Game.
Okay.
Well, let's check into the real vitals there, Stephen Hill. The real important issues here.
Right.
Yeah.
His marital status and availability.
That's right.
But does he have a vista like this?
I love Mexico. Yeah. So the next thing on the docket, would like to talk about what happened in court today. This is a situation, Stephen Hill, I don't know if this happened while you were still in the States, but certainly you are so locked into the news. This happened the other day. I'm going to show you the video of this, and then we'll talk about it. This happened at the Boston Gardens.
You know, unfortunately, we have seen issues around the NBA with fans crossing the line. Somebody tossed a water bottle, and it nearly hit Kyrie as he was walking to the tunnel. Tyler Johnson noticed it, and the Nets began to point out who it was in that section. There are cameras everywhere, so you're going to see the toss right there. It just misses Kyrie. This is as the Nets were exiting. Kevin Durant was doing the interview with Michael Grady, and security began to converge and look for the guilty party.
So this is, and if you go a little bit further, you can see it's like 6 officials from the security, police, and otherwise surround this young white boy. And he was in court today to answer to the charges. He's 21 years old. His name is Cole Buckley. Allegedly threw the water bottle. He didn't allegedly. We saw it in court today for his arraignment, ordered to stay away from the TD Garden there. He entered a not guilty plea for assault and battery with a dangerous weapon and was silent as he left the courthouse. Talking about the case, it's not lost on them that they chose to do this in a sport that is overwhelmingly black, with black men. According to a lot of people, and there's been a lot of conversation over the last couple of days after the popcorn situation, how these white fans are abusing the players, and namely black players. They're not going after the white players. They're going after the black players. And so there's a lot of conversation about this over the last couple of days. And now as this kid appears in court, and he's due back in August. But Kyrie was also a victim of some, as they call him, an idiot fan Sunday night who hit him and with popcorn, I think it was.
Popcorn.
Who,
I forget who the player was. Was it Westbrook? It was Westbrook, right?
Yeah, it was Westbrook. Right. And so this time, the folks are, really talking about this, and especially why they feel entitled to do this and to call out their anger, and especially on the black players. And I so agree with you, Manuel.
Right. That's what I'm laughing at.
Where is Ron Artest when you need him? He don't play that. Remember when Ron, oh my God, just ran up into the stands.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
it's
my gosh.
It's why he changed his name to Meta World Peace. Let people know.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. Exactly right. Right. So, we'll see what happens. This guy is due back in court, and to say the very least is that he should be able. he should never be able to go back into the basketball stadium again.
I would say
about
ban him from all sports. Period.
Well, they didn't ban him from all sports. The challenge is he threw that water bottle so badly that after he got out of court, the Yankees hired him. The Yankees hired him for pitching. Well, he can't be banned from all sports. He's still got to show for his Yankees uniform. So there's that. Look, I gotta admit, I'm one of those guys who does it have to be racial, right? So if you're gonna throw something on a basketball player that's a famous basketball player, 9.5 out of 10 times it's gonna be somebody black. Like it's just going to be, right? Right. So if people threw things on tennis players, but they don't because it's not that kind of sport, you know, outside of, you know, somebody with the last name of Williams and Osaka, you know, it's going to be white folks.
And let's not forget my girl Sloane Stephens either. Okay,
Sloane Stephens, right? But you know, I think you throwing somebody who's good coming off a basketball court, I'm not sure it's a racial thing.
Yeah.
That's just
well, a lot of folks are taking umbrage with that. And so they are saying, Carolyn Jones Jameson on Facebook, they won't stop till somebody's sister or brother meets them in the parking lot. In this case, the police took action, I think, is a way to help this young man, because I think the players, the Brooklyn players, were ready to go to the mat for Kyrie.
Yes. Or at least to the parking lot. Or to the parking lot.
Yep. And so they really saved him. This 21-year-old kid, and wearing, and all he had was his little Boston Celtics jersey on, and you know, just looked real pitiful. And they're like, "Come on, son, watch your head."
Make him sit next to Spike Lee at a Knicks game. That's punishment right there.
Oh, wouldn't that be
Celtics
beautiful?
fan.
Yeah, that's pain. Yeah, that's real punishment right there. Yeah. Or I don't know if it's pitching for the Yankees and you're a Boston fan. I don't know. So we'll just, but either one of those will work. I know you all are very sad. If you have not heard this already, you will be. The report came out this afternoon that less than a month into it, Donald Trump's blog and website, complete with a fundraising portal and an online store, was getting fewer and fewer visitors. And so the blog has been just cleared out. It's been bounced. No blog.
3 days into it. 3 days into a month-long thing, right?
That's because
it's just less than a month into it.
He used all his words.
I would like to take this time. I like to take this moment to point out. I was blisteringly funny last week. I was unbelievably funny. And still, Myra, not touch what Myra comes with. Like, so you were missed. You were missed. I was amazingly funny, but like, still, we were like, where's Myra? They were still like, where's Myra?
You're always amazing, Stephen Hill.
Where's Myra? Anyhow, I had to say it.
He was brilliant.
And still, they were like, Myra, is he back? Is she back yet? Come on. Oh, damn.
Like I was calling every day. You coming back?
Because this can't keep going.
So he's just been trying to figure out a way to reach out to all his supporters. They thought, the blog is the answer. And it was not. And as Myra says, he just ran out of words.
He ran out of words. And his words are gone. But that's okay, because he's saying he's going to be reinstated as president in August.
Yeah. That was the announcement that he also made. Exactly.
Now that's
according to the New York Times, he is telling people, yes.
He's telling his supporters he's going to be reinstated in August.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You ever see the movie The Truman Show? The Truman Show with Jim Carrey, right? And you know how everybody in the world is involved in the Truman Show. If you haven't seen it, it's not really going to be a spoiler alert. Well, it is kind of like, but everybody's involved in the Truman Show. Oh my God, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Oh my God, everybody. And then at the end, he walks out, and it's the end of the show. And the very last scene is somebody looking like, okay, what else is on? Right. That's the definition of Trump. That's the definition. When Trump was in, it was like, oh my God, what's he going to do next? And now that he's gone, it's like, okay, what else is on now? And thank goodness for this world. I'm hoping that's the case.
Yes.
Oh, God bless you. Yes, let us hope. And speaking of the videos and the things that are going, what was I going to say? I was going to tell you something else. I forgot what it was. Oh, he is making an appearance. Is it this weekend in North Carolina?
At a mall? At a mall?
There-
Please say at a mall.
there
Please
was-
say at a mall.
at the Republican convention.
Please tell me our former president is going to be at a Chess King at the Westlake Mall.
Chess King. and
Please tell me
with an
he's
orange,
Chess King.
and the orange one is going to be having an orange Julius.
Yes.
He's going to be at Build-A-Bear trying to make himself into president.
Boom.
Yep.
Oh, Myra, absolutely right. Absolutely. I don't understand what that means.
Yolanda, what are you doing now? Yolanda, what are you doing?
Producing. But here's the thing. Sometimes I can read her writing with these and without. Maybe if he had a audio with the words like, oh, it would work. Oh, and then J. Anthony Brown would be very happy with that. Myra, we had an issue with Jay the other day because with our newsletter on Tuesday, which was a fresh newsletter, Monday, people like Stephen Hill noticed that we did some of our favorite articles and it wasn't a timely newsletter. Tuesday, we had the updated news stories and we didn't do the audio part. And that's how Jay gets his news. By listening to it. And so, Yolanda's making the comparison to the newsletter and Donald Trump.
Used all the weights.
Use all the words. Use all the words. All right. We have Trump's people don't read. Thank you, Cherie. You're absolutely right. He ran out of words and his people don't read.
Yep.
Absolutely. They don't even do sign language very well, and usually the one sign that they get, people are like, I don't know why they're giving me that middle finger. So this is a story that has been circulated over the last several days, and it is about Naomi Osaka. Myra, I'm assuming that you know this the story where she has dropped out of the French Open because she for her own mental health and well-being. It started out where she said she wasn't going to participate in the post tennis match interviews. And so they said, okay, we're going to fine you $15,000 if you don't attend these interviews. And she said, fine, I'll just drop out. And it'll be for the best for everyone, especially for me, as I'm going through a difficult time. And being reminded over and over again how she doesn't play well on clay. And the reporter's asking the same question 1,000 different ways. Well, Venus Williams has come out and is one of many athletes has come out in support of Naomi. And so we have this response from Venus, and then we'll play something else for you.
For me personally, how I deal with it was that I know every single person asking me a question can't play as well as I can and never will. So no matter what you say or what you write, you'll never light a candle to me. So that's how I deal with it. But each person deals with it differently.
You gotta love her.
Boom. Drop mic. Yeah.
So
Yep.
Okay.
So in seeing that, reading the words and seeing her and hearing her say that, I started, going back and as many people have pointed out, this ain't new to her, obviously. But there is this interview from 1995. Now, I don't know Mr. Leonard Francois. He is Naomi Osaka's father. But everybody needs a Richard Williams in their life. Take a look at this. 1990.
I know I can beat it.
I know you. Very confident.
I'm very confident.
You say it so easily. Why?
Because I believe it.
And let me tell you why. What she said it with so much confidence the first time. But you keep going on and on.
Listen, we can't keep interrupting. I mean, if you want...
You got to understand that you're dealing with an image of a 14-year-old child. And this child going to be out there playing with your old ass and me going to be in the grave. When she says something, we done told you what's happening. You're dealing with a little black kid, and let her be a kid. She'll answer it with a lot of confidence. Leave that alone.
Richard Williams.
I remember that. I remember that.
You
I do
remember
too.
that John
Yes, I do.
McKenzie is the journalist. The show was called Day One, and this was 1995. She was 14 years old, and I done told you.
How many ways do you want me to tell you?
So
And
here's
when
the thing.
you and I are both in our graves, she's still gonna be out.
So here's where the people call me a Republican again.
Okay.
I'm gonna just go ahead and step on it, right? And
Okay.
so while I think I love what Mr. Williams did, I also understand why I also understand why the journalist was pushing to get another great. He knew he had gotten a great answer from her. He was simply pushing to get something to support that already great answer. So it wasn't really a challenge of her. He was just trying to get better television. So I think when people think he was really challenging her, it's like, that's not it. Interviewers are there to get the best interview and get the best sound bites possible. Mm-hmm. Realizing she had such confidence and that it wouldn't be shaken when he asked why, but could only be taken to the next level. That's why he asked the question. So people who think he's challenging her, I have a problem with it. It's not like it's a debate. He's trying to beat television. Number one, number two. Let me get to Osaka right quickly. So there's a contract signed when you get in these tournaments, and press is part of that contract.
Right.
As I understand it, the first time the French Open found out that she wasn't going to do press is when she announced it to everyone else. Mm-hmm. When you have a contract with somebody, you kind of want to, like, I agree. If you're mental health and you don't want to do it, have a conversation with the organization with whom you have a bond or who you've dealt with before. So I want to be clear, her not participating in the press conference is different than how she went about it. And even she said in her
she would have done it differently.
I would have done it differently. So I just want to make people know it's not always like the French Open versus her. Like part of this whole thing when you're on it is part of it is press. And when it comes to the French Open, that's actually part of the contract. So not against Osaka, but understand there's a wider, just sometimes I want people to understand wider things. When people understand wider things, they say I'm Republican. So there's that.
Well, I think you're coming at it from a business perspective. Excuse me. Sorry. Choked up when I talk about Naomi Osaka. Jackie Welch on YouTube says one answer was enough from a child, and that was Mr. Williams' point. She was still a child. Stephen! Exclamation!
Did that child look shaken at all? Like my point is, he saw how confident she was. There was no shaking in her. She was like, I got this. I'm doing this. And so if she had shuddered or had been back and he had gone forward, I'd have a different response. But he saw how confident she was and just wanted a better quote, another quote. He at no point in time thought it was shaking her confidence because
now,
did you see her face? Did you see her face?
She was nonplussed.
Right.
Yeah.
She was like, I said what I said.
I'm the best. Yes. She wants your kids like that.
But
with
all that being said, and I am not disagreeing with you, Stephen Hill, understanding the business side of sports, but there's still that human element that they are still children. They can be confident children, but they are still children.
And mentally, especially. I mean, they may have the mental acuity to play this game like nobody else, but also their emotional growth, their emotional age is much younger than what their physical is. Dora Levette Tiggs on Facebook says, no, he was trying to get her to back down, to lower her self-esteem and confidence. It backfired on him. Way to go, Dad.
Okay.
I think
I need to ask the question is, what benefit does he get by having her back down? Right? What's the benefit that an interviewer gets by getting her to back down?
And to be to appear as the bad guy with a 14-year-old kid.
What's the benefit?
He gets nothing from that. He gets nothing.
He gets nothing from that.
If anything,
he gets something from getting. He gets something from getting a very confident 14-year-old kid to take that to the next level. That he gets something from. So,
and that's something in journalism classes they always teach you. If you get one, take it to the next level if you can. If you feel like you can, and like that. Mr. Williams wasn't having it. and a
I
lot
get
of
that as
people
well, and I support
understand.
that as well.
Right.
And a lot of, but I'm saying a lot of people feel the way Mr. Williams did, and I think that a lot of journalists will say, like you, Steve, that he was just doing his job, and he was trying to, and maybe even a little, maybe he was just being proprietary on himself and wanting to, have that extra, like, if you thought that was something, wait till this, and then this, and then, but
you should look. Okay, okay. There's an interview. Her was on the Today Show when she was 10 years old. And when I see that, I think of what Serena and Venus were at that age.
Oh, you talking about her as in Venus and Serena?
Oh, I'm sorry. Her the music. No, her the music.
Right.
I'm so sorry. Her the musical artist was on the Today Show at 10 years old, and she showed the same amount of confidence. And they too were questioning her confidence. A lot of it is because adults aren't used to 14-year-old people, and candidly aren't used to 14-year-old black girls being that confident.
Right.
So they can be as amazed as we are. I don't know why we always think it's about the teardown. And the teardown would make no sense. It doesn't make any business sense. It doesn't make any emotional sense for that guy. So,
wow,
she would have
Dora
backed
has
down.
an interesting.
I disagree.
Dora, you would have backed down if her dad weren't there.
Then you don't believe it. Then you don't believe in the confidence that young girl had. That girl didn't look like she was backing down at any point in time in that clip. At no point in time did she look like she was backing down.
I think her father emboldened her, which is the same way that, I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure what Mr. Francois, who is Naomi's father, what his role was. I know that he introduced his girls and trained them and what have you. But I'm not sure that he emboldened his girls the way that Mr. Williams did with his, and that kind of support. And that also brings me to my next point. Who manages her, Stephen? Because shouldn't whoever her manager was gone to the people of the French Open, the Tour, la Tour de France people, and said, she's not going to do this?
Social media disintermediates everybody, right? So one would think that she had communicated that with her manager. Perhaps that wasn't the case. Perhaps she was just she was like, okay, I don't want to do this, and tweet it out. So you don't, not everybody's done that. Yeah. Okay. Show me where 14-year-old Steffi Graf, Chris Everett Lloyd, or Mauricio Shirpo. Go ahead. Find me where they were that dope at 14 that they'd be asked that question. They weren't. When you find that video, send it in. I look forward to seeing. It doesn't exist because they weren't that dope at 14.
No, none of them were.
Good try, though. I appreciate the effort.
And Chris Everett is still to this day in her 60s trying to knock them down, knock the Williams girls down. Every chance she gets.
I'm agreeing. Now we're aligned. Now we're aligned.
There's a jealousy. There's something every year, every tournament.
When the Venus sisters were first rising, she was doing the commentary, and she actually said, "These girls have no talent. It's just brute strength. They will never be champions." And I want that clip played in her house over and over and over again. Yeah. And she said they had no talent. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she took a lot of grief for that, because even like Billie Jean is like, dude.
You're right.
But you're absolutely right, and I've never ever forgiven her for that. And which is why when I watch their tournaments and Chris Everett is or Chris Everett Lloyd, whatever, whenever I turn the volume down. Simply because I just can't take that little whiny ass. So
all right, Keisha Michelle, you're right. You have knocked my confidence, and I will sit back now.
If anybody could ever do that to Stephen Hill, I will pay to see that, because
My confidence is not just like that.
Nope. Come on, snap out of it, Buttercup.
And I'm back.
And you're back. Did you looking at? I'm sorry, Myra. Yes.
All that being said, I do not have a problem whatsoever with this young lady stepping away from tennis for her mental health. This is a sport, ladies and gentlemen, for our entertainment pleasure. And we should never ever think, oh wow, she still needs to play because blah, blah. Contract be damned. If she needs to walk away, she needs to walk away. So to play another day, if she so chooses.
Yep, absolutely. And and selfishly, I do hope that she will come back and whip ass all over the court, just as she has up to now. But right now, she could walk away. She's like got 50 to 100 million bucks. And so she's gonna be all right, as opposed to a lot of us, who have to keep, pushing that grindstone. But it is
take
really
care of her man Corday. Keep going.
Come on now. Come on.
By the way, one of my favorite new artists of all time, by the way. He is one of those like really good guys who really I love the way his brain works. And when I heard they were together, I was like, this is the couple right here. So all right,
that's really great to hear. That's what you want.
He's so dope. He's so dope. Yeah. So,
and she is too in her own way. And their passion and their belief in social issues and things like that. Just really, that just inspires me, and it makes me very proud. So, Mr. Francois, good on you, and the Mrs. Osaka, good on you for raising a very, very well balanced child and young woman now who's doing her own thing. Okay, so I was moving to the What You Need to Know newsletter, and of course we talked about the Tulsa massacre observation yesterday, 100 years since that happened. I can't and will not call it an anniversary, because that to me indicates some sort of celebration, and this was not a celebration of the mobs, the white mobs that killed hundreds of Black people, injured thousands of others, put them in internment camps, and destroyed their whole ways of living, and still no response to them or to the survivors. The 3 people over 100 years old saw this happen, and nothing for them. Even the money that was raised for the celebrations, the observations, the ceremonies, none of that millions of dollars went to these 3 people or their descendants or any of the descendants of this.
Where did it go?
It went to the parades and all of the things that they had there, but not to them.
Oh, well, that was funky.
Once again, Myra has hit the nail on the head right there.
With a paucity of words, Myra's killed it.
With her Donald Trump-like verbiage.
Although I got to tell you, if I ever heard Donald Trump say the word funky, that would be on repeat. That would be on repeat.
Well, you know what? He stole it from Myra.
Right. And trust and believe, if he ever says it, he's learned a new word. Okay.
So I'm wondering if you all saw the president, who was the first president to go to Greenwood District in Tulsa, Oklahoma, to look around, to go to the cultural center, all of that stuff that he did there, and to speak. He's the very first president in 100 years to go and to be a part of that. So good on him for that.
It is only in the last 10, 20 years where people have really acknowledged that that ish happened.
I would say 20 years. Yeah. But I agree with you. And Obama didn't.
It's the 100th anniversary. That's a big deal. I know. He could have gone to 90th.
Yeah.
But I hear you.
And in the 90th, it would have been in his first term. So I'm just, I don't know. I just felt some kind of way, but I'm very glad that he did. He spoke some powerful words, including which he said, "We must not give hate a safe harbor."
Yep.
He talked about some ways in order to narrow that racial wealth gap between Black and white people. He also talked about not only the plans that he has and brought his secretary, Marshall Fudge, there. That's a cabinet secretary, not his personal secretary. Marshall Fudge to talk about some of these housing issues and what have you, and also talked about voting and the importance of that. And this was just in the wake of what happened in Texas, the what was it, 2 nights before, when the Democrats stalled the Republicans from passing that horrific voting bill that they're still trying to get passed.
Nice move, by the way. Nice move. Nice move.
Wasn't it?
And the vote is that we need 100 people to move. About 70 is we'll walk out the door. We good. Yeah.
Church finger.
It was a lot of that. But they walked off the floor, did not have a quorum, and so good on them. But you're talking about the voting thing. One of the things that he did speak about was the necessity for passing the For the People's Act as well as the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. And so, and that is what he's hearing from these states that are trying their hardest to stop the Republicans from passing these laws. But it's like, we're doing all we can. We've only got so many in the House as in these Republican states. And so it's on you. And so he's like, okay, all right. And then he said, okay, Kamala, go to work. She's like,
it's on you. You got this. You got this, girl. You got this.
I got
you gotta
the
go.
You remember? I'm going south of the border with Stephen Hill. And so I gotta go to work. But
we don't call you MVP for nothing. Okay.
Come on now. Come on. So
come on.
Oh, that's now on her plate as well. And if anybody can do it, I know that she can. But this is a lot, and he's they're hoping to get this at least one of these things done before the summer is over. That, along with the infrastructure and a recalcitrant number of Democrats who don't really want to vote like Democrats. So, what do you think, Myra?
Well, I've been away for a week, and the residence that I was in, I couldn't get any news. So literally,
good for you.
I know. Getting back yesterday, I feel like the murder scene and Set It Off when they were shooting Queen Latifah. I'm just like, one hour of news, and I'm like, bam, 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 bam. It's so much going on. I was very proud of the Democrats for what they did, but they don't need to let up. I know they always want to be the nice ones and the sane party of the two, but sometimes you just got to steamroll a mofo. I ain't even apologizing for it. I'm breaking it down so that everybody can
understand. You'll never hear from Donald Trump, but okay.
Steamroll a mofo, and I think in order to get some of the things done that they really want done, the Republicans are not going to work with them. So stop begging people who don't like you. Stop asking people, please be my friend. If they don't want to be your friend, screw them. Step off and do what you have to do. So I really wish the Democrats would basically stop whining and do what the hell they have to do. And as far as Tulsa, Biden went there. That was a nice thing. That was a nice start. And so many people are just like, oh my God, Black people been knowing about Tulsa. And Tulsa isn't the only spot. There was Rosewood. There was many other places. So this is just the beginning. And I really think it has to be a big push that all of this, because this is part of American history. It's not just Black history. This is American history. It needs to be taught in our schools. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And isn't it interesting that we have the 100th anniversary of Tulsa, and this is also the time where critical race theory is the term that galvanizes all of these Republicans, and what critical race theory is, depending on who you are and how you look at it, critical race theory has to do, for many of us, with the history that is being taught in our schools and about racism. And if this is not an example of things that we need to have in our history books or in our classrooms even for people to talk about, this is the time. The timing is very interesting with this, Stephen Hill. And I don't know about you, Steve, but I got to tell you, going to a private white school growing up, this definitely was not a part of our conversation. And even when my mom would talk to me about things like this, and you go back to history class and you're pretty much dismissed, because there's no way, if it's not in this white history book, then it didn't happen.
We had slavery. Slavery was on a history book, and then it was Martin Luther King, and that was it. Look, I think
you go from there.
Yeah. But I always try to look for the positive, this, and it's that as we move forward along the line. So it may be, but like, so the fact that we are different now than we were 50 years ago works for me. That we're going to be different in 50 years than we were now works for me, right? The fact that Tulsa was such a big deal. There are 3 documentaries right now on 2 of them done by basketball players, right? Russell Westbrook and LeBron James. So the fact that this exists where it never existed before, the fact that history is being told by everyone now, not just look. Okay, I'm gonna stop. If you can Google a 1971 interview, Playboy John Wayne.
Oh my gosh!
Now just Google this interview. I don't want to go into details, but just remember that what John Wayne said in what he said in 1971 about yes, I believe in black supremacy yes, I believe in white supremacy until blacks get their weight up, basically. And no one challenged this. 50 years ago, this was speak that was in an interview that no one challenged, and I encourage you to read the entire thing and know that. In 71, no one would have said anything. In 2021, it would never, ever fly because people are much more informed. Thank you, internets. Thank you, Al Gore's internets, right? and critical thinking. So, yes, we're here now. We're going to be in a different place with more information to go around even further in the future, and I feel good about it.
Yes,
just to piggyback on what you said, I remember that John Wayne interview, and I have not seen a John Wayne movie since.
Yeah.
Because
I'll tell you, I won't go into Orange County.
Yep.
Well, right.
Because it's named after it.
It's kind of hard to get to San Diego.
Yeah,
LA.
It's worth it.
Look, hey, Chuck D, as always, was a prophet.
Come on.
Mother and John Wayne.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. There's just so much there and so much rich history, but I want to close on this in talking about this particular situation in Tulsa and the voting and all of the things we talked about, the history in our schools and our children are being taught or not taught. Ladies and gentlemen, register to vote. If ever, every day, we have to keep reminding people to register to vote because every day a state is trying to take away or to diminish the voting rights of people. Every day we have to remind people to get out there and vote and to figure out a way. As Myra said, not say, oh, would you help us? Can you, we want to work with you, all of that stuff. No, we have to figure out a way around and we have to play chess as 2 or 3 or 4 times. We have to play like Boris Spassky or whoever it is, or whoever the great chess minds were. We have to play like them in this game because as Stephen said, that white supremacy, because we're just going to try to keep folks down as long as we possibly can. And we see the numbers are diminishing and we're just going to keep trying to fight and work our way around all of this. And that includes, go ahead, sweetie.
No, I believe there's so many white supremacists who don't believe that they're white supremacists. That's part of the issue. White supremacists don't understand that, like, they just truly believe that their basis should be everyone's basis because that's how they and their parents have grown up. Right. So I believe there are benevolent white supremacists who just are unaware that they have that position compared to like from when it's looked at from someone else's point of view. Right. So not every white supremacist is a horrible person. It's just like, oh, they don't know yet. And I have friends who, because, I and others have been in their lives, went from a period of position where they might have been white supremacists to like, oh, I now get it. And that's what you can really hope for. You want those.
Absolutely. But isn't a benevolent white supremacist, is that not an oxymoron?
Well, okay, but it's about intention. Like it's about intention.
Okay.
So yes. So the answer is yes.
Okay.
It's about intention.
We got to move to the question of the day, and we brought this question of the day comes from yesterday, the video I'm going to show you guys, and we brought it back because we had so much response. and we want to get your response to this as well. Okay, so we're going to play this. This was a part of our trending video yesterday.
So, hi everybody. This is my 12-year-old son, stepson, Terrence Hines. Say hi to the camera, Terrence. Say hi to the camera.
Hi.
Tell the camera how old you are.
12.
How old are you?
12.
You're going to have to speak up.
12.
And what were you doing today, Terrence? Tell the camera what you were doing today.
Smoking.
You was what?
Smoking.
You speak louder any other time.
I was smoking.
And tell the camera what grade you're in right now.
7.
And what grade you're going to? What grade are you going to?
7.
Oh, okay. Why is that? Is it because you're a straight F student? And you like to get high? Can't hear you.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So, I don't know how to cut hair, but we don't cut hair today. Terrence has a fresh cut. Got it today. Yes, he did. They're gonna come in the house high. I'm so sorry for my camera, you guys, but we're gonna get this together. That's what we're gonna do. Cause you know. Terrence will not have a hairline. Terrence ain't gonna have no hair. No. Look at that. Can you see it? I can't. Look at it. What we don't do is get high at 12. And what else we don't do is come in my house high. And what else we don't do is get all F's. Can you pass PE next semester? Will you pass PE next semester? Because that's what you're going to go to school looking like if you don't. Fresh haircut too. Did your daddy have to pay for that haircut? He had to pay for it? Oh, and his daddy had to pay for his haircut. I wonder who's gonna be more mad. You or your daddy? Come in my house high. Look at this back. You won't be getting your haircut. Every time you get it cut, it's gonna come from me. I don't ever want your hairline to grow back. You'll never have one. You'll be looking like your grandpa. So this is what happens when you come in my house high. Look at the camera. This is what happens when you come in the house high. You look like this. You're going to go to school like this. And I'm going to redo it Monday, so you'll be fresh. Okay? Now.
So, from what we understand, this is a stepmother. Because she introduced him as her stepson. We don't know anything about the relationships with the father or with the boy's mother or any of that stuff. This is just, and the people were so angry and have been so angry with this woman in the way she did this. It's one thing to punish your child. The kid is 12. He's getting high. He flunked 7th grade. All of that stuff. There has to be some consequences to his actions. But to put it on social media is for the world. It's gone viral for the world to see is the issue. And I wanted to get a take from a single mom as well as a single dad.
First of all, Malcolm X said long ago, Black people, let's stop airing our dirty laundry. Apparently, there's definitely an issue that needs to be addressed with this young man. But to me, this became all about the mama, the fact that she differentiated. This is my stepson. Mm-hmm. This is my house. In a parent-child relationship, it's already parent-child. So then, for her to take that on social media to humiliate him, I just thought that was absolutely horrible. Should he be dealt with? Yes, absolutely. But this is like, okay, I'm gonna go viral. I'm gonna get a whole lot of likes. Watch this. What in who is this? Who is this video really about? Who is it really about? Is it about improving the child's behavior, or is this about your video getting a whole lot of likes for what you did?
Right. That's exactly it.
It was totally misdirected. Totally.
So what seems to be buried in this is, what grade are you in? 7th. What grade are you going to 7th? Now, I may be overthinking this, but if you have a child at 12, it feels like there's an opportunity to stay on top of schoolwork in a way that if the child is able to go from 7th to 8th, that you with your parental guidance can help that child go from 7th to 8th so that the child is not an all F student. Now, if the child can't get the material, I don't want to say that to anybody, but if that's part of it, that the child didn't do the work, part of that is on the parent. Everybody wants the quick solution, right? So the video of me cutting the hair, and first of all, I can be honest with you, hairstyle didn't look too bad because it looks kind of like mine. But
I was thinking more George Jefferson.
That to the side. The problem is everyone wants instant gratification, right? Oh, so I'm going to get the likes, I'm going to get that, as opposed to like, how am I going to stop this child who is smoking at 12 to at least have stopped smoking or not wanting to smoke by 14, right? This is not a short-term thing. This is a thing you do over a period of time. Jaden has this one thing, I won't go into what it is, that I'm really trying to adjust. And it's taking a year and a half, but I'm never going to give up on that it's going to get adjusted. And every small little increment makes me happy. Is he there yet? No. Has it been close to 2 years? Yes. But this is what parenthood. You know what? We should have understood it all when she said, "My son, my stepson."
Absolutely.
Everything was said right there. So I am as disgusted as everyone else is. Look, I got into parenthood really late. Like Jade and I got together at 10, right? But nothing's more valuable. I was mentally 10, yes, which means like 2 days ago. But one thing I'm really sure of is that like it's not going to happen all at once. Nothing's going to happen all at once. Nothing good's going to happen. Nothing bad's going to happen all at once. It's going to be a series of incidents, and you get to control how those incidents roll. So
this has been a learning lesson for a lot of people in terms of, and especially that we get the whole social media thing, and who was this really for? But it has drawn so many questions, both the relationships as well as what was her objective in all of this, and where was she, this whole year? And obviously this wasn't a normal school year. Obviously, everyone can attest to that. But this is just an awful situation.
Now, somebody did say this was a 6-year-old video, by the way. I don't know if that's true or not, but somebody did
I saw that too. I saw that, somebody questioning the age, and I got a number of different ages of the video. 6 was one. I heard, 5 and 7, somewhere in there. And then others said that it looked like, that it was one of those things where people said, well, I saw it, just saw it, so I know that it's new because I see everything. So, whatever. Before we go, Myra, can you talk about your adventure?
Sure. I was in beautiful Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. I went there for the Jazz Fest and Soul Fest. Yes, Jazz Fest.
No, keep going. No, keep going. Keep going. No, good.
Jazz Fest, Soul Fest. There was Layla Hathaway.
Oh, you don't say.
Boys to Men.
Oh, really?
Lettucey.
Let's see if I got my invite. Where's my invite? No invite. No.
Sheila E. Kim Ward, Tommy Davidson, Rick Braun, Richard Elliott, Gerald Albright, Najee, Avery Sunshine, Pieces of a Dream. Yeah, and we were outside. I went. I hope I'm not saying too much. As a guest of Mr. Joyner, brought a bunch of us down, and it was just an absolutely wonderful time. And for people who are like traveling, everyone was vaccinated. We stayed in 2 huge, beautiful villas. Everyone had to be tested before they left to get back into the States. Everyone tested negative. So for people who are still skittish about, I don't know, I lived in a house with people for a week, and we're all negative. Good to go. So deuces, I'm out again next week, y'all. Okay.
There's no
Tom.
holding you back now.
Yeah, Tom, how you doing? Yeah. No, it's your ex-producer. Yeah. Listen, I just want to say, next time you go to Cabo or anything, just. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. We're still on. Never mind. Okay, bye. I'm sorry.
Hello.
and
that was for you, Yolanda.
And Mr. Joyner is doing fantastic. Just FYI.
That's great to hear. Absolutely. And it was good to see the gang together in the stage that they were. That was good. It was awesome. Awesome. Glad to see you guys there.
Yeah.
Stephen Hill, I wanted to get a couple of words from you about the verses, because everybody talked about this, and you of course the two Steves were on talking about it, but just to get your quick interpretation for people.
They went 40 songs deep. 43 songs deep is how long they went. Like usually verses go 20 songs, and very rarely can people get to 20 songs without hearing hitting something that's like a gutter ball. They went 20 songs deep easily, 40 songs deep easily. Two of the best producers to come to prominence in the since like 95, right? In the last 25, 26 years. Their catalog is vast. It's hip hop, it's R&B, it's slow jams. And that was just an enjoyment of music. They clearly love each other. Timbaland and Swiss Beats. Timbaland and Swiss Beats had a versus at Live on Sunday. If you ever been to Live on Sunday. So I thought we knew it was going to be one of the best. We knew, and to me, it was the most hit-laden outside of the Isley Brothers and Earth, Wind and Fire. So I just applaud these two brothers for owning their own property and making it hotter and hotter every single time. Salute all.
That's awesome. That's what. Okay, so this week, Steve, back to looping.
Yes. So last week I had Luca, my 10-year-old nephew, was on the entire show, and it was it was the best show. It was the best. It was epic. It was epic. Choreography. He just took the mic. It was so. I think I'm gonna do
a chip off the old block.
I think I'm doing something this week. It'll be 7:00 on my IG Live. Come, if you don't follow me on Instagram, please do at Stephen Grant Hill. And 7 p.m. tomorrow, we're going to do something funky and fun, and it's going to be with this kind of vista. So we'll have fun.
Awesome. And Sirius XM Saturday?
Sirius XM this Saturday, I am talking to Stokely from Mint Condition. Will be my guest on Heart to Heart with Stephen Hill on Sirius XM, 11 p.m. Eastern Time on Channel 48, Heart and Soul. He's just one of my favorite.
Yeah, mine too. Okay, Myra, thank you so much. Whether we see you or not, it was great to see next week. It's great to see you this week.
You will see me. It's week after next, and I'm pretty sure I can do the show. And I'll give you a hint. Inkwell. That's all I'm saying.
You're going back. I want to go. Damn it. Okay. All right. Awesome. I can't wait for that. And
Yolanda, you really should pin MMM last 2 messages. You really should post both of those. I'm just gonna say that. Especially the last one. There you go. There it is. Boom. 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 Pew, 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 pew.
Thank you, MM, and thank you, Stephen Hill.
Yeah, man, that's right. There it is right there.
I appreciate that. You've made my night. And of course, Stephen is sometimes
secondary. No, secondary.
Sometimes J. Anthony Brown funny. That's high praise.
That's high praise right there. That's high praise right there.
That's right.
I feel good right now.
Pretty soon, Jay will be like, "Watch out there now." There's also want to leave you with Yogi's Jewels. Thank you, Yolanda. This is the inhale, exhale. Remember that actions speak louder than words. Inhale positivity, exhale the negativity, right? And lastly, before I go, I want to send out our words of love and support to our social justice activist, Coy Malone. Coy lost her father today. And so we are very sorry and sending her love and prayers and support as she goes through this very difficult time that we've all been through, and know what is ahead of her. So, Coy, we send you love and all the support that you could possibly want. We're just going to bug the hell out of you. What you need? What you doing?
What you need? What you got? What you want?
Exactly right. So thank you all for and send Coy her IG and a lot of people are supporting her already. So please send her some love her way. Thank you guys. I appreciate
and Merry
you.
birthday, Lorianne Pope. Merry birthday. Merry birthday, Lorianne Pope. Boop, boop. Pew, 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 pew.
She's 21.
Pew, pew, 21. 21 again.
And what a way to celebrate.
34th anniversary of the 21. Hey,
that's how you do it.
Yes.
Bye, everybody. See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
George
Take
Wallace.
care.
Appreciate you. Thanks, Myra.